I think we have to address some situations right now. There's something that they call there's a difference between chalk and cheese. I grew up hearing that statement frequently. You know what's interesting though? Is that we have to add on something else onto that phrase that we all grew up with. And that word is fleas. You know why I'm saying that? I am on this planet 46 years now. I'm gonna be 47 in a little while. And what's going on blatantly is that those that claim to be policing us and protecting us are lying so blatant, it's clearly being seen. If you're a crime fighter and you're lying about information that you know you have, and you're omitting stuff because your family member, aka your in-law, is doing things, that shows bias. Now, if police officers have been known to actually be withholding evidence and stealing money, stealing contraband, raping people, extorting people, kidnapping people, this is something that we're supposed to be okay with. It's not a rhetorical question anymore. It's serious situations that are going on in our country. And it's not even up for debate. But still, some people want to make it okay. In no form or fashion could this be okay. And then furthermore, for anybody in authority, as in judicial, and the people that's supposed to actually have professionalism in the police service, this is not even transpiring. Because there's something called the Professional Standards Bureau, which part the former head of it knocked down a young man, nearly killed him, made sure to get off of this with the help of the judiciary, and anybody that asked questions about it was victimized publicly. This is not no hearsay I'm speaking. So let's go on to our next point now. The Police Complaints Commission is headed by somebody that's supposed to have the interest of who in his clause and mine at all times. The reason I'm asking that, now during the SOE, do you know how much people was murdered with police bullets? The reason I'm saying that, because there's something also called extrajudicial killings. This, when it transpires, is serious, It's serious in Trinidad and Tobago history. Because this has been happening since the years of 1986, with documentation being proven. You know what's also been happening? Police corruption. Now, the reason I'm highlighting that point, because if something happens to your family member, you will not get justice. But if you have on a uniform, or if you have a good couple millions, the story and situations will change. It's very interesting. In the past few weeks, look what transpired. So, how could the DPP not do investigations or have officers doing investigations on members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service? No, it's interesting. That shows another bias, that they don't want to actually hold accountability for wrongs being done in Trinidad and Tobago. And not for months, for years. Because Roger Gaspard, or Gaspard, how you want to pronounce it, is the individual who has the responsibility of observing many things. Furthermore, if you have a police complaints commission or authority, how could it be they are not, I repeat, they do not have any authority to charge anybody? Yet, what transpired for the past few years, for instance, the murder that occurred on July the 2nd, that was what? 2021, I believe? Yeah. This is ridiculous what is transpiring in our nation. It has nothing called democracy. Furthermore, when the nation cries out, you have a lying police commissioner, not once, but more than 17 occasions, lied to the general public. So tell me now, in the murder, in the extrajudicial killing of Mr. Francoso, also Kyle, also Joshua, has anything transpired in Trinidad and Tobago yet? Furthermore, somebody known to be involved in corruption, also having an in-law that is heavy-handed and caught lying on many occasions, has he ever been suspended? Has anything happened to the Mayaro police station? Has anything ever happened to the Barrackpore police station? Ask yourselves these questions. Furthermore, when, I repeat when, a now government minister name has been calling in multiple extrajudicial killings, has anything ever transpired with him other than being suspended for a year, mocking a religion which part people have said his mother assisted him? All these questions interplay. Nothing in Trinidad and Tobago is changing. There's very interesting things that are happening for multiple years, which part rude boys, as the word was used in Jamaica in the 70s, are linking with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. More so with the murder and sexual assault on Miss Eversley. So, what's transpiring right now is the game of chalk and cheese proceeding to go on still. The reason I'm saying that is because the police commissioner, along with the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, said, don't worry about it. This is nothing important. It's just a matter of betrayal. Then, what transpired after that? You all claim that all is find back a certain amount of the guns and a great bit of the ammunition. But what transpiring? Well, they put out a reward for anybody who have information in regards to the robbery and murder of the corporal, the female corporal. You're trying to lie to who? In what format? The reason I'm asking that question is because right now, Trinidad and Tobago cannot trust the police in any format. Because in Sandy Grande, what's going on is that everybody's saying the police are the biggest criminals. Some people don't want to listen, don't want to believe that. And I understand. Just like what they said, just like what Maya Angelou said. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. With that being said, yo, good. Yo, I love words with a passion, so I have to like that. So what's going on right now? You need to understand something. This place called Trinidad has always been called a paradise. But if I could go back to 1984, which part police officers were victimizing people and sexually assaulting them in a police station, doesn't it have a history of that happening then? Yeah. But what's interesting also, everybody, I repeat, most people, not just on social media, are saying that these officers know that they set up this lady for the fall because they know they wanted those guns. How it is somebody who's in prison, they're saying that his block get all the guns and ammunition. Yo, this is not an episode I expected to be seeing in our country called Trinidad. Furthermore, what this reminds me of, Assault on Precinct 13. It reminds me of Training Day. It reminds me of The Departed. What else I could bring up? Internal Affairs. You know how much movies you could liken what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago right now to what's going on? Do you all feel good about that? You know, it's equally as shocking that people capitalizing off of situations like that occurring. There are these individuals that call themselves investigative journalists. And from that happening, I want you to understand something. You see this white glasses wearer, and furthermore, what's interesting, his same brother-in-law, who was found to be overhanded on giving a man a police vehicle to take a young lady to her graduation is one thing. Then, when he was protecting officers from the Central Division who was involved in Sachel's kidnapping and murder, you are the same one who was trying to polish and make them look good. This is the same officer that you all give to head the municipal police station on the wharf, which part the woman was just murdered. Yeah, that's some good judgment. Very, very good judgment. Notice, while all this is transpiring, not a single word from David West. Notice once again, from since situations occurred in regarding Joshua Samaru, and regarding Kyle, and regarding Sowers, all these people were murdered under the SOE. Yeah. What is transpiring? Why no investigations happening? Why certain things have gotten dreadfully silent? Are we supposed to be okay with this? You all are really crazy. There's a reason why I changed my clothes, for people to notice certain things. The previous part of this video, I had on the Obey hat and a Johnny Walker t-shirt. Now I have it in black and white. And furthermore, a company that belongs to a casino. The reason I'm saying this, they want you to obey at all times. They want you to walk away from the truth. They're seeing these things in black and white, and yet still they're only playing us for games. Who the fuck you really think we are? Trust me, it have no stiff-necked fools out there. And you know what's very insulting? A police commissioner could make it his business to call me names, but you're solving crime. Furthermore, in the Sandy Grande division, why is the investigation in regards to that young man who lost his life with somebody else, that all they claimed was having those individuals going to rob somebody, and you all found out information in advance, eh? That's what you all saying? Freaking ridiculous. Ridiculous. So in other words, a preemptive extrajudicial killing strike? That's what you're trying to tell me? What happening when you change your story 3 times in regards to one murder? Is it the same like this same white glasses wearer who implicated an officer on Monday morning, implicated another officer who's not involved in the murder, then used one of his minions to clean it up because he was so ashamed that he redacted the officer's picture, and then the minion that he sent to make sure and clean up his mess call another reporter's name? That is the level of journalism and correctiveness we have in Trinidad and Tobago right now. And you all want to look forward to seeing these people saying things? Nah. And how is it not a coincidence that he is the right hand of the Prime Minister in all reporting, while Karen Alexis, myself, Lester Adolphus, and multiple other people have said this man put them in place on multiple occasions? You know what's so interesting about that? All he does is remain quiet. I'll never remember a time in history when he was doing anything not for personal gain. Anytime you have to ask a crime fighter to get paid, that is not a crime fighter. That is not a crime fighter in any format. And the thing about it, for officers to have blocks, as in drug blocks, and then become ministers, that says something. Why is it so many things have happened under the supervision of police in Trinidad and Tobago history? Why is it okay for everything to transpire for a normal civilian to lose their life, but if an officer is killed, to get to the bottom of it? Or when the corruption is actually transpiring, why paint a picture to make yourselves look good and then sideline the officer to make him get far away from the situation so his name wouldn't be calling in it? You know why I could say that? Remember when a drunk officer bounced down 3 people died on the spot. One man was in a coma for how many years? They shipped him to Miami so quick, he pretended to be dead. You all think people forget things? I don't suffer from 9-day disease. I remember everything. It transpires that we Trinidadians, not myself included, but we Trinidadians need to stand up. And nobody wants to do this. You know what equally as disturbing? You see the individuals who create shock value content, yes, the ones that make you laugh, they remain dreadfully silent because they don't want to hurt the brand. So your nation is hurting. People are flat broke. People are getting murdered. Corruption is happening. And you want to still remain silent? Yeah, it goes to show you something. Look at the light. Doesn't it look like the sun? Yeah, it really does look like the sun. Furthermore, anytime you're going to licensing office and you just get a certified copy, yeah, let's highlight two of the individuals who are talking about pathological fucking liars. And if all they don't read between the lines, continue eating ice cream and laughing at somebody who has a biblical name, but one of the most miserable children characters. Yeah, I just hit hard and I just speak the truth. And furthermore, if you're a real Muslim, how could you not care about your brother who got pulled down not too far is which part he living from in your area? These are the things people need to start observing. But check this. Roman roti, confusion and disorder is what this party promoting. And segregation, aka divide and conquer, is what people listening to. But if you don't put your foot down, you'll fall for anything. And trust me, I ain't falling for shit. I'm too big for that, because I'll hit the road and the concrete that I'm dropping on immediately. It's really shocking though. It's really, really shocking. So let me highlight something before I go now that will shock a lot of you all. A few months ago, a president made a statement about errant drivers who disrespectful. And people took notice of the statements that she made. And she was embarrassed by a lot of people. And also a certain disc jockey and celebrity who works for CNC3. He made some very outlandish statements. And you all keep on supporting him. But you all tend not to realize he's very good friends with NCW. And then furthermore, he's very good friends with certain officers that used to come to Slam Studios. And when they used to come to Slam Studios, every morning they would discuss things that are going on with crime and being paid to do that on their radio program. Well, they don't remember yet, but I don't forget. Right. Two of those officers, one of them you don't hear from him in any format anymore. These are the things they're trying to highlight here. So let me show you something. When was the last time you heard anything about Brent Batson speaking about traffic offenses? Yeah, stopping for that one to make you understand the lies that are going on right now. It's supposed to be definitely hurting you all. Furthermore, did you realize that he's not coming out and speaking anything about what's going on in licensing office and the corruption that's going on in it? Why am I the only investigative journalist / influencer / TikToker talking about these things? Because the fear that people brand getting hurt because they're getting money to say and do certain things shocking. Look how simple it is. Today is the 24th, and the egotistical hoe, I have to say that, who claims to be a government minister, you're not taking care of your child. And for months, people are observing you being a blatant racist. And furthermore, you're saying the word nigger so much that it's really shocking. You know what's equally as interesting? These individuals around me and other Trinidadians who claim to be investigative journalists, why is it that they remain silent when somebody like me speaks? Some of these guys have strange bedfellows, and the people who pay them is even more interesting. I fear God. I fear no man. So when guys are inside a guys and they claim to be journalists, I really clearly don't want to hear, much less understand. The fall of the Roman Empire is a hell of a thing. So here the scene. Some of the most evil people in history was Stalin, Hitler, Nero, Genghis Khan. So think about the statements, well, what I just made, or the individuals I just highlighted. So in that case, think about Judas. Think about egotistical kings like Nebuchadnezzar. Think about Daniel being a messenger to interpret the dream what he had. All these things important, you know. As they usually say, everything in the dark will come to the light. And somebody who's a sodomite could never be living in the light. I don't ask for money for what I do. I'm a fucking patriot, and I always speak the freaking truth. So when somebody loses their car and you ask $6,000 of them, and then furthermore, a police officer, a senior officer's son, gets murdered and his body dumped in Maloney. Yeah, I want you to remember, go and do your research, because evil people, the karma does return. That's how water and rumors work. That's facts in life, you know. Because anytime water begins to drip, one of the most dangerous things is multiple drips full of bucket. And for being pathological liars for nearly 27 years and in the service means you're a mole. I could call your name right now, but then certain people in San Fernando will seek you out and blow your head open. That's how real I am. So to all the journalists who remain quiet and don't like to respond when a wolf/real Trinidadian speaks, no problem. You all keeping quiet and being nonchalant when you're being sodomized in all kinds of forms and fashion. Think about it well. I don't live my life in fear. And the reason I don't play games in life is because I know what we used to be and how well Trinidad copes with doing certain things and making our country uplifted. Understand the statement I'm making, because hospitality is what a lot of Trinidadians known for all over the world. And if we don't get back to how we was, we're in big, big trouble. As usual, Trinidad and Tobago, I love you guys. See you on the flip side. Deuces.